This would be our second lecture relating to the labor code, and in particularly the very emphasis is given on discussing the 4-day work week as it is found under the West Code of 2025. So, we would like to discuss each code in brief again. The code on wages, social security code and industrial release and code and occupational safety, health and working conditions code. So, the Indian government's implementation of the new Labour Code 2025 makes a pivotal shift in the nation's employment landscape by consolidating 29 existing labor laws into four comprehensive codes. This reform aims to modernize labor legislation. Moreover, it seeks to enhance worker protections and promote is progressive and doing business while initiative introduces progressive changes such as the potential for a 4-day work week. It also raises pertinent questions about its practical implications for employees and employers. Like, so that regarding code and wages that establishes a uniform minimum wage across sectors and ensure timely payment to all employees, and the social security code expand social security benefits including provident fund, gratuity and maternity benefits to a broader workforce, and the industrial relation code simplifies disputes resolution mechanisms and aims to foster harmonious industrial relations, and the occupational safety, health and working condition code prioritizes workplace safety and mandates better working conditions across industries. So, in particularly, we would like to discuss the very 4-day work week, a important step taken, and then particularly relating to that extended daily working hours and the financial implications, and the very strategic move and phase wise implementation of the code that we would like to discuss in this particular lecture. And this is the second part of our discussion regarding those labor codes. One of the most talked about provisions is the introduction of a 4-day work week. It allows employees 3 days off. While this appears to promote work-life balance, it comes with significant trade-offs such as extended daily working hours to compensate for the reduced work days. Employees may be required to work up to 12 hours per day. It means adhering to the 48 hours weekly cap. It raises concerns about increased fatigue and potential impacts on productivity and health, and regarding the financial implications, and those in particularly relating to enhanced provident fund contributions aim to secure long-term savings but may lead to reduced take-home salaries, affecting immediate financial liquidity for many workers. The effectiveness of this model hinges on its implementation and the adaptability of both employers and employees to these changes, and the very phased wise implementation, that is the most important, and it is in 3 phases: phase 1, phase 2 and phase 3. So, recognizing the diverse capacities of Indian enterprises, the government plans a phased implementation through under phase 1. Large companies with over 500 employees will be the first to adopt the new codes, and in phase 2, medium-sized enterprises engaging 100 to 500 employees will flow suit. And the third phase, the small businesses with fewer than 100 employees will have up to 2 years to comply the codes. This approach aims to provide businesses, especially micro, small and medium enterprises, as such the MSMEs, adequate time to adjust without undue financial and operational strain. So, while the courts promise enhanced social security and potential for better work-life balance, several concerns emerges, and those implications of the workforce that would be discussed. Regarding job security, the Industrial Relation Code introduce provisions that may make it easier for employers to hire and fire workers that can potentially undermine job stability. And also, overtime regulations extended work hours necessitated stringent enforcement of overtime pay and monitoring the present workers' exploitation. And regarding inclusivity, that we found under the new codes, despite provisions in the Social Security Code ensuring that benefits extend equitably to gig and platform workers. It, in spite of that, it remains a challenge. So now we would like to discuss regarding the change in content perspectives. So at change in content, we acknowledge the government's efforts to reform archaic labor laws. However, actual progress requires more than legislative changes. It demands a cultural shift in workplace practices, reflecting on our new Women Day initiative, which highlighted the superficiality of token gestures without substantive change. We urge policymakers and businesses to move beyond symbolic reforms. The new Labor Code 2025 should not merely be a rebranding of existing structures but a genuine step toward equitable and human working conditions. So we call upon the government to ensure that these codes are implemented with transparency, inclusivity, and a steadfast commitment to protecting workers' rights. Similarly, employers must embrace these changes not as obligations but as opportunities to foster healthier, more productive work environment. So now we would like to conclude our valuable discussion regarding the 4-day work week culture. The new Labor Code 2025 presents a unique opportunity to redefine India's labor landscape. While the reforms introduced were promising concepts like the 4-day work week, their success depends on meticulous implementation and the genuine commitment of all stakeholders to prioritize the well-being of the workforce. As we start at the grassroots, let us advocate for labor reforms that are progressive on paper and transformative in practice. So the very hope lies at the proper implementation of these four labor codes, and in particularly the code on wages, we specifically lay emphasis on 4-day work week culture and how it would be implemented phase wise, in particularly relating to large scale businesses and subsequently regarding the medium scale businesses, and finally to roll out into the MSMEs or the small business sectors. So the very hope and aspirations behind the proper and effective implementation of the code on wages and the code on social security largely depends not only on the government only, but also on the employers and the employees.